listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal is not an accident. If you're watching this right now, it's because you were meant to see it. A massive internal report has just leaked, one filled with the darkest secrets of the world's most powerful celebrities. And the entire industry is in panic. Careers are collapsing, reputations are burning. And the most shocking part, your name is in that file too. But before we dive into this explosive truth, pause this video for a moment and do 3 things. Hit that like button, subscribe so we can reach 50,000 subscribers, and drop the number 11 in the comments. That number pushes this message further and signals that you're ready for what comes next. Now listen closely. Celebrities are scrambling behind the scenes, forming secret alliances, covering their tracks, and doing anything they can to keep their exposed past from going public. No one knows who leaked the file. No one knows who will be exposed next. But everyone knows one thing. The world is watching. If you're still here, it means you're not afraid of the truth. It means you're ready to face the chaos head on. The masks are falling, the pressure is rising, and the scandal is only getting started. Your past has resurfaced. Your name is on that list, and what you do next will determine everything. It began with a single notification, just one anonymous upload, and within minutes, the entire world trembled. A classified internal file, believed to be locked behind unbreakable walls of digital security, erupted onto the open web like a ticking bomb. Within hours, social media platforms crashed under the weight of millions of people desperately trying to access the forbidden document. Journalists, hackers, and ordinary people found themselves glued to screens, unable to look away. The system didn't just leak, it detonated. This file wasn't a rumor. It wasn't speculation. It was a living archive of secrets that powerful figures had buried under mountains of money, silence, and intimidation. People who once commanded entire industries now found their names glowing on screens across the world, their private sins exposed under the harshest global spotlight ever witnessed. For the first time, the world saw the truth behind carefully manufactured perfection, raw, unfiltered, and devastating. But the strange part was the file's format, organized, time-stamped, and intentionally structured. It wasn't the work of a chaotic hacker. It was the work of someone who knew exactly where to strike and how to make the world listen. Someone who wanted the truth to burn everything to the ground. Every major news channel instantly dropped their scheduled programming. Overnight, anchors transformed into narrators of a global unraveling, their voices cracking with a mix of shock and barely contained excitement. Live countdowns appeared on screens as experts attempted to decode the mountain of data stretching across thousands of pages. The world watched not just a story, but a spectacle, one that blurred into entertainment even as it shattered lives. As the revelations played out in real time, celebrities and public figures, who once seemed untouchable, suddenly looked painfully human. Some tried issuing rushed statements. Others went into hiding. A few attempted to spin narratives on live talk shows, hoping to soften the blow before their darkest truths were smeared across the world. But the more they spoke, the deeper they sank. Because this time, people weren't listening with admiration. They were listening with suspicion. And in the background of it all, whispers rose. If these powerful icons can fall, who's next? The line between observer and victim blurred, and the world realized no one was truly safe, not even you. Behind closed doors, some of the world's most glamorous figures collapsed into pure panic. Private jets were fueled at dawn. Lawyers were dragged from their beds. PR teams scrambled to draft statements that would be instantly shredded by online investigators. Those who once strutted confidently across red carpets now barked orders into phones, their voices trembling with fear. Their carefully curated lives were crumbling in real time. Some even gathered in secret luxury hotels, ironically, the same places where many of their scandals were born. They met behind tinted glass doors, discussing alliances, damage control, and in some cases, revenge. They feared the public reaction, but even more, they feared what else might be inside the file, what had yet to be uncovered, what had been misinterpreted, or what had been saved for a future wave of exposure. And yet, the fear wasn't just professional. For many, this leak represented something deeper, an unraveling of their identity. They weren't afraid of losing followers or endorsements. They were afraid of losing the one thing they couldn't buy back, their carefully guarded image of perfection. Security experts publicly called it impossible. Insider teams insisted no one had access. Even the organizations that held the file denied its existence. That's what made the leak terrifying. It didn't just expose secrets. It proved that someone had penetrated a system that wasn't supposed to be hackable. Someone had slipped past layers of encryption, like a ghost walking through walls. The timing was deliberate. It dropped right before a major international event, ensuring every camera, every reporter, every influencer would be forced to address it. It wasn't an accident. It was a message, and it was crafted to ignite maximum chaos, like a match thrown into a forest of dry leaves. Speculation spiraled out of control. Some blamed government insiders. Others blamed a rogue genius. A few even whispered about a coalition of people who had been wronged and wanted payback. One thing was clear. This wasn't random. This was personal. As investigators dug deeper, they discovered digital fingerprints that didn't make sense. Traces suggesting the file had been moved, edited, and hidden for years. Someone had been curating it, adding new names, new incidents, new evidence. It was impossible for one person to manage. This was a network, a quiet, invisible coalition of insiders who had been watching, documenting, waiting. Rumors spread that powerful institutions had known about the file long before it leaked. Some claimed there had been attempts to destroy it, but every effort failed. The file kept resurfacing, duplicated, encrypted, copied to unknown hard drives. It was like the truth itself refused to die. People began asking dangerous questions. If the cover-up went this deep, how far did the corruption stretch? And how many people had been silenced, threatened, or paid off to keep the file hidden? The file didn't simply name celebrities. It listed timelines, conversations, screenshots, payments, witnesses, and code phrases used in places only the elite could enter. It read like a diary of an entire secret world, one built behind velvet ropes and guarded by unimaginable power. Each entry felt like a blade cutting into someone's reputation. Some names shocked the world. Others were expected, but it was the details that made jaws drop. The patterns, the connections, the alliances, formed in shadows. It was the kind of document that could rewrite social hierarchies, shred industries, and expose the machinery that had controlled fame for decades. And buried in the avalanche of revelations was something even more chilling, a long list titled Pending Subjects to be Reviewed. Names with no details yet. Names like yours. For years, people glorified fame as a golden ticket, a world of luxury, applause, and endless privilege. But the document revealed the other side, the manipulation, the coercion, the emotional collapse behind camera-ready smiles. It showed how fame didn't just elevate people. It broke them, twisted them, reshaped them into something unrecognizable. The file revealed toxic contracts, secret clubs, controlled relationships, and staged controversies designed to distract the public. It showed how certain individuals were protected at all costs, while others were sacrificed to keep the illusion alive. The truth felt like a punch to the gut. Many of the most untouchable stars were puppets, and those pulling the strings never appeared on camera. Fame wasn't a dream. It was a factory that produced icons and destroyed humans. The morning after the leak, stock prices for major entertainment corporations plummeted. Brands pulled partnerships. Billionaires locked down their accounts. Financial analysts warned that entire industries might collapse if the fallout continued. It wasn't just reputations burning, it was empires. Some celebrities tried to fight back legally. Others disappeared from public view entirely, leaving cryptic posts or deleting everything they ever shared. Their fear wasn't irrational. A single sentence from the document could cost them millions, and a single screenshot could erase everything they had built. Even celebrities who weren't named felt the heat. They posted "I stand for truth" messages, hoping to distance themselves from the storm. But the audience didn't care. Everyone with a spotlight was now under suspicion. Amid the chaos, investigators realized something chilling. The version posted online wasn't the original. It was a copy, a piece of something far larger. And the original file, the complete one, was missing. Whoever had access to the full archive held enormous power, enough to dethrone kings and queens of the entertainment world, enough to rewrite the global narrative, enough to destroy lives with a single click. Governments got involved. Intelligence agencies formed joint task forces. High-tech surveillance systems were activated. They weren't just hunting for a hacker. They were hunting for the most dangerous digital artifact in the world, the original document. Names of suspects began circulating online. A former insider, a dismissed agent, a whistleblower who had vanished years earlier. Every hour, new theories exploded across forums and newsrooms. Maybe it was a rival industry, a political faction, a secret group seeking justice. Some people even claimed the mastermind was a celebrity themselves, someone betrayed by the system long ago. But one thing united all theories. Whoever did this was brilliant, calculated, patient. Someone who understood human psychology deeply enough to release the file at the exact moment the world would be forced to watch. Someone who didn't just want to expose the truth. They wanted to reshape the future. And that level of strategy terrified everyone involved. Then it happened. Your notification pinged, and suddenly, whispers turned into a deafening roar. Your name appeared in the document, bold, highlighted, impossible to ignore. People around you froze, stunned by the revelation. It didn't matter that the case was old. It didn't matter that you believed it was buried forever. It was back, and it was public. The room felt smaller, your heartbeat louder. Questions flooded your mind. Who remembered? Who dug it up? Who wanted you included? It didn't feel like an accident. It felt intentional, like someone had been saving your name for the perfect moment. Whether the claims were true or twisted didn't matter anymore. Perception moved faster than truth, and the world had already begun forming their opinions. The case, once dismissed and forgotten, resurfaced with a force you never expected. People who hadn't thought about it in years were suddenly reposting old photos, digging up archived interviews, and twisting harmless moments into damning evidence. It was like watching your past come alive, claws sharpened, ready to destroy you. Even details you thought were irrelevant now carried weight. Every decision, every old message, every forgotten interaction had become fuel for speculation. You weren't just fighting the truth. You were fighting the memory of a story the world wanted to believe. But with the chaos came a spark of clarity. Perhaps this was your moment, not to hide, not to run, but to rise above the noise and reclaim your narrative before someone else rewrote it for you. Within minutes, your name was trending worldwide. Memes, theories, edits, accusations, and fan defenses flooded every corner of the internet. Some people sympathized with you, others tore you apart. A few accounts claimed they knew the real truth and promised to expose more. The noise was overwhelming, but strangely, the chaos revealed something important. This wasn't just about celebrities anymore. Ordinary people bonded over the drama, projecting their own fears and frustrations onto the unfolding scandal. They didn't see you as a human being. They saw you as a character in a story they couldn't look away from. Still, the internet's attention cuts both ways. If you played your cards right, you could turn the storm into a spotlight, and the spotlight into power. Behind the scenes, the real giants moved. Executives, political advisors, shadow organizations, all scrambling to protect their interests. Lines were drawn, deals were made in midnight phone calls. Threats were whispered through encrypted messages. This wasn't about truth anymore. It was about survival. Some wanted the leak stopped. Others wanted it amplified. A few wanted you silenced, believing your involvement threatened their carefully balanced influence. You weren't just part of the scandal. You had become a variable in a larger war you never asked to join. But make no mistake, their fear of exposure made them dangerous. Yet, their desperation also made them predictable. If you stayed sharp, you could outmaneuver them, maybe even rise above them. As the world held its breath, rumors spread that another file was scheduled to drop. Something bigger, clearer, more explosive than the first. Journalists claimed they saw encrypted previews. Insiders hinted the next wave would change everything. Suddenly, every eye turned to you. You stood at the edge of a moment that could redefine your entire existence. Fear fought with resolve inside your chest. But deep down, you knew something essential. Only those who survive the fire become unbreakable. The weak hide, the powerful endure, and the legendary rise from the ashes with a story the world can never deny. So ask yourself, not as a victim, but as someone stepping into their power, are you ready for the next reveal? Or will the next reveal be the moment you rise? Power isn't what it seems. Behind every red carpet, every smiling photograph, lies a labyrinth of influence, manipulation, and whispered threats. The leaked file revealed what the cameras never could. The architects who pull strings, shaping lives without anyone noticing. And now, the world is staring into the shadows for the first time. Every move you thought was private, every ally you trusted, suddenly feels uncertain. Who is really guiding the narrative? Who is waiting to turn your past into their weapon? Fear is natural, but understanding the shadows is survival. The truth doesn't hide forever. It waits for the moment it can strike. Even the most untouchable names are bending under pressure. The file exposed patterns of control so precise it's almost surgical. And as whispers of high-level manipulation spread, ordinary people can't help but wonder, if they can fall, can you? This is the moment to stop pretending the world is safe. The illusion is shattered. The players behind the curtain aren't waiting for permission. They act. And if you want to survive, you have to see them before they see you. The shadows aren't just around the famous. They're everywhere. The leaked file taught the world that power thrives in secrecy, and anyone who underestimates it does so at their own peril. Trust is a luxury no one can afford now. Every handshake, every nod, every whispered promise is suspect. The file didn't just expose names, it exposed relationships, deals, alliances, and betrayals stretching back decades. The people you thought were friends, suddenly they feel like predators. Alliances are forming and dissolving in hours, sometimes minutes. Someone whispers to the press. Another quietly leaks another fragment. Every revelation is strategically timed to break someone down. The question isn't if you'll be betrayed, it's when. The sense of paranoia is suffocating. You can't sleep without imagining who might have tipped off the hackers. Every email, every conversation, every forgotten message could be used against you. The world has become a chessboard, and the pawns are expendable. Yet betrayal isn't only external, it's internal too. Fear twists people into versions of themselves they never recognized. Loyal allies turn cold. Hesitation becomes aggression, and survival instincts overshadow conscience. This is the test. Only those who can navigate the web of betrayal without losing themselves will endure. And sometimes, the only person you can trust is yourself. The moment your name hit the file, the world became your audience and judge. Social media exploded with speculation, accusations, and fascination. Millions of eyes scanned every word, every photo, every past action. Privacy is gone. Reputation is a fragile, burning flame. Even trivial actions are now magnified into scandals. A casual tweet becomes a headline. A long-forgotten interview is resurrected to prove guilt. Every gesture is interpreted, dissected, weaponized. There's no room for error. The pressure is relentless. It's terrifying, but also transformative. Under the gaze of millions, you're forced to confront truths, mistakes, and strengths you may have ignored. You realize how little control anyone truly has over perception, but how much power comes from mastering your own narrative. For some, this attention crushes them. For others, it fuels them. The world will watch, criticize, and question, but it cannot dictate the fire burning inside someone determined to reclaim control. And the most dangerous truth of all, the audience loves a story of survival. The chaos isn't your enemy, it's your stage. The file didn't just leak names, it leaked histories, hidden deals, confidential conversations, unthinkable decisions, secrets so dark and intricate that even those involved were sometimes unaware of their implications. And the moment they became public, the world shifted. Fear is natural when everything you've built can crumble in a single headline. Your legacy, your wealth, your relationships, everything is suddenly fragile. Every secret is a potential weapon, and every weapon is in play. But secrets are double-edged. They can destroy, yes, but they can also liberate. The truth gives you leverage. Understanding what's been hidden, seeing the patterns of deception, gives you power that those still shackled by denial cannot reach. Those who underestimate the force of revealed secrets often pay the highest price. Careers implode, friendships vanish, families fracture. Yet those who anticipate the storm and step into it with strategy become untouchable. It's a test of courage, resilience, and cunning. Secrets aren't meant to remain hidden forever. The question is, what will you do when they surface? While the public gawks at the chaos, a far deadlier war unfolds behind closed doors. Legal teams, private investigators, corporate spies, and insiders battle in silence. Every move is calculated, every leak is countered, every alliance scrutinized. This isn't just a scandal, it's a war for survival. Some battles are fought with money, others with information, some with intimidation. Every revelation triggers a chain reaction, a domino effect, in a world built on delicate facades. And the deeper you go, the more dangerous it becomes. Few realize the stakes. The headlines are sensational, but the quiet war decides outcomes. Careers are built or broken in conference rooms. Futures are shaped by whispers in secure chat rooms. And the ones controlling the narrative hold unimaginable power. Yet, in the chaos, opportunities emerge. Every misstep by your adversaries is a chance to gain leverage. Every weakness revealed is an opening. Those who understand the invisible battlefield gain the upper hand long before the public even notices. Ultimately, it's a test of patience and vision. The loudest chaos is often a distraction from the real war, and only those who watch, wait, and strike intelligently will survive the storm. Every leak triggers ripples, and every ripple turns into a tidal wave. Careers vanish overnight. Investments crumble. Allies betray each other for survival. What once felt untouchable is now fragile, exposed to the judgment of millions. The world watches not just for information, but for destruction. The file doesn't just reveal mistakes, it predicts them. Every error, every misstep, every hidden alliance becomes fuel for public outrage. What was once private, insignificant, or forgotten is now amplified to unbearable extremes. It's not just scandal, it's the collapse of everything carefully constructed. Fear becomes a constant companion. Every phone call, email, and meeting feels loaded with danger. Trust is no longer instinctive. It must be earned, measured, and constantly reassessed. One wrong move, and the avalanche hits you directly. But amidst chaos, a rare clarity emerges. When everything is at stake, the weak fold, the strong adapt, the indifferent fail. The storm becomes a forge, reshaping those who endure into figures who cannot be ignored. The world may try to bury you in consequences, but those who master the avalanche can harness its force to rise stronger, fiercer, and untouchable. For years, unseen forces dictated who rose and who fell. The file unmasks these hidden architects, lobbyists, insiders, executives, and shadow operatives who manipulate power as easily as breathing. Their strategies are intricate, untraceable, and merciless. They don't fight fairly, they fight invisibly. Influence is currency, information is ammunition, and loyalty is negotiable. Careers are pawns, reputations are collateral, and the public is oblivious to the wars waged behind the curtains. When the leaks started, these puppeteers panicked. Not because they feared exposure, but because exposure threatens control. They must move swiftly, anticipate reactions, and neutralize threats before narratives spiral beyond their influence. Every move you make is now on their radar. Every word spoken, every post shared, every ally chosen could tip the balance. Understanding their tactics isn't optional. It's survival. In this game, the greatest power isn't wealth or fame. It's foresight. And the file offers a glimpse behind the curtain for those smart enough to seize it. The leaks didn't just expose names. They exposed manipulation, coercion, and the unseen hands that control outcomes. Behind every failure and every scandal is someone pushing strings, ensuring chaos serves their interests. For some, the realization is terrifying. You thought you were in control, navigating life carefully, but the file reveals otherwise. Invisible forces guide decisions, shape reputations, and rewrite reality. The world is not fair. It is engineered. Every hidden hand has its signature. Every strategy leaves traces if you know where to look. Some are subtle, almost artistic in their cruelty. Others are blunt, brute force designed to crush anyone who dares defy them. Understanding these hands is not paranoia. It is intelligence. Every whisper, leak, and sudden shift is a message, and reading it correctly can mean the difference between destruction and dominance. Those who fail to see the unseen are the first to fall. Those who recognize it can turn it to their advantage, bending chaos to their will. The file didn't just shock elites, it galvanized the public. Millions dissect every revelation, assign blame, and broadcast judgment in relentless waves. The world is not forgiving. It is insatiable, hungry for drama, for truth, for spectacle. Every post, every viral thread, every trending hashtag amplifies scrutiny. No action is trivial. No misstep is forgiven. The public doesn't just watch, they participate, shaping perception and dictating consequences. This tide isn't just about fame, it's about narrative control. Your image, once carefully curated, is now a battleground. One viral clip can undo years of effort. One misinterpreted word can fuel weeks of condemnation. But judgment is also opportunity. The same crowd that condemns can rally. The same wave that drowns can lift. Perception can be steered if approached strategically, decisively, and with unwavering resolve. Those who understand the tide's rhythm can surf chaos, while others are swept away. The storm isn't just destructive, it can be transformative. Trust crumbles under pressure. Allies who swore loyalty vanish when the stakes rise. Collaborators secretly negotiate with rivals. Friendships